Good evening. Today is a part of the Excel training and learning program. I would like to bring to your attention something called as average deviation. Average deviation is a way to understand uh, if the average of this particular range of cells is 292. So first we'll use the formulation to get the average equal to average. This is use shift open bracket, use colon, or use the select one of the cells, use the colon, then use the right arrow key, now left arrow key, select the entire range of cells, click on shift, close the bracket, which is the average of the last 6 months. You can see from January to June the average here is average sales per day is 292.75, say roughly 293. So now to understand what is average deviation, so average deviation means the difference between the mean. So what is the mean now? Mean is nothing but the average of the particular cells that have been selected here. In this case, the average sales per day, which is 293, which is the mean, which is also termed as mean. So now the average is 293. Now this is the mean. We will give it a heading mean. Now variation. So variation is a formula that will uh, use to understand if the information this particular day's sales is more than the average mean, and we will calculate the difference of each cell manually, and I will also show you how we can use the formulation of Excel to calculate average deviation as well. So first we'll do the manual calculation. You enter equal to in this cell, use cell number D2, that is row number 2, column number D, minus column J2, which is column J row 2. This gives you a positive variation of 382. Similarly, now here you can see the common sequence is column J. So just to ensure that this value doesn't change uh, in uh, J, we will add a dollar sign to J here so that the column J doesn't change, the row or the cell number would change. So now uh, copy, control C, copy this and paste it in the next column. Here you get, now you can see there is a minus negative sequence here. You can see how much is the negative amount uh, between the average mean and whatever the uh, sale for that particular day. So you can see the variation is almost 48 between February 1st and the mean, which is 293. So it gives you a minus 47.5. So you will put variation, I'll put it in short 2, or you can say variation Feb, then you can put here variation Jan, then here variation March, variation April, variation May, and variation June. So it's necessary for you to understand the basic of what can be done manually and what needs to be done through the formulation. So formulation is a shortcut, but to understand how the formula works, you need to be very careful in what you do. So now well, here D, here is E, correct. copy. Then this is March. You can see the variation is minus of 165, copy. Then paste here again. Again variation is minus 168, copy. This is value because the value is blank, copy. And then here so you can see variation is 231. Now to find the average of deviation, so these are all the variations, and this is actually deviation which is missing the benchmark, so we will get the average of deviation here. So we'll just manually select, you will use shift key, scroll to the right until column J. So here you should be able to see the average deviation at the bottom here. The average of this uh, segment since is not showing here because of this value. So if I go ahead and convert this to uh, ignore error, let us see whether it does show you. So it is just showing you the count. It is not actually showing you the variation. If I delete this, it's now giving you an average value. You can see the average is deviation of minus 153, and if I add the January as well, the average deviation comes to minus 46. If you can see at the bottom of the screen, count is 5, sum is minus 31. So adding all this negative and plus adding the positive, it gives us an average of minus 46. So now let us use an Excel formula here in this column to understand how the average deviation is calculated in this particular sheet. So we go to formulas. There is an option of more functions. Tap on the drop down. Go to statistical. The first drop down, which is average deviation. So we'll tap on average deviation. Now it will ask us to enter a particular cell reference number that we want to get the average deviation or average mean deviation. We'll select column D2. Then we use colon. We scroll through to the right and come and hit enter here. So now you can see here the average deviation showing uh, for that range from D2 to I2 is 191. So now let us see why does it have a difference of 191, and why it is necessary to use the formulation and not use what you call uh, is why is it important to use the formula and not do this calculation manually, because the way Excel calculates the data, you won't be able to calculate the data in the same way. So because here if I put a hypothetical number of 150, so here you can see if I copy this cell and paste it here now, what does the average variation show? See, the variation has come down. The average is minus 33. Actually, we are not looking at the average deviation here. Uh, Basically, this is 164 now. Because the formula works in a different way, we will not be able to do this manually. Average deviation would basically mean the average for those particular 6 days comes to about 264 as per the average here. So it's the mean that is picked up, uh, and based on that, the average deviation is calculated. So similarly, if we uh, use that same formula again, go to formulas, go to more functions, tap on statistical, tap on average deviation. Now again is asking you to select a data range. I will go and select D3. Then I use shift and colon. I scroll down to the right until I3 and I hit enter. So now it is showing you 218.3. So if I just simply use shift and down arrow key and copy control down fill the formulas. The variation here shows an average of -101, and whereas the deviation here is showing 218. So how is this calculated? We need to try and understand that. Let us see if we can get any information from the internet as to how it does that. Okay, just bear with me a minute, I'll be back. So friends, thank you for waiting. I have an example for you here in the way we can actually calculate the average deviation. So this is an example with a set of numbers 10, 12, 15, 18, 20, and the average uh, deviation function would work as follows. So mean, which is the average between the five numbers, we've calculated, added all of this up and then divided this by 5. So the mean or the average is 15.4. The absolute deviations, this does not include any positive or negative. The average deviation between the two figures is calculated as a whole number. It is calculated as a positive number, not a negative number. So 5.4, 3.4, 0.4, 2.6, and 4.6. So if we use the calculator here, you will get a different sequence. You can see the deviations done manually here: 5.4, 3.4, 0.4, 2.6, 4.6. Divide by 5 come to 3.8. So the average deviation comes to 3.48. However, when we calculate this particular sequence with a formula reference, this comes to 218.72. So now what we will do is, this is 609.4, this is 179.4, this is one second, I'll just copy and use paste special here to uh, fill the values. Okay, that's done. Okay, so this is 318, this is 57, this is positive 170. We'll just simply go ahead and remove the three negative sequence here. So now if we do an average of this, it comes to 283. Okay, 283.33. So again here 283.33, and this sequence of 218 again is different. What we'll do is 657.4 minus 283. Sorry, I think I missed something here. Equal to sign is missing. This is coming to 374. However, this sequence, if you calculate it manually, doesn't come or doesn't come about the same way as we expect. So there is something definitely wrong in the sequence. We'll need to manually calculate this again. However, you can use this formula with the deviation. So we'll use it one more time so that you have a hang of it and we ensure that it is not incorrect. Click on statistical, click on average deviation, select column D, 4, shift colon, and stop at I4, hit enter. So now you can see the average deviation comes to 224.667. So that is how you use this formula. So probably if you try to do it manually based on the uh, sequence that I shared with you, just check if the average or the mean comes out right, because if that is incorrect, then your whole sequence would be incorrect too. So thank you for watching, friends. We'll come back to you with another video very soon. Take care. Thank you.